Shabbat Shalom. Good evening, good Shabbos. Welcome to Congregation Dor Tamid in our Friday evening Kabbalat Shabbat worship service. It is so lovely to be joined by all of you here in the sanctuary, as well as everyone joining us virtually on Facebook, YouTube, our website, and Zoom. We are so glad that whatever way you are with us tonight, you are with us tonight as we come together as community to celebrate this Shabbat, to take this opportunity that we are given each week to take a step back and rest and reflect, renew ourselves with our community as we come together to celebrate together, to support one another, to be with each other, and to be part of this family of the Jewish people that comes together each Friday night. Page 128. The words of the Psalms, the Hine Matov.
Hine Matov Umanai Sheverachim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanai Sheverachim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanai Sheverachim Gam Yachad. Hine matov umanayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim sheverachim gam yachad.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. As we do each week, we enter into Shabbat by bringing more light into creation. And as we turn to page 120, I'm going to ask Carol, you to come forward to kindle our Sabbath lights.
This is a trick happy birthday candles. We sing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We turn now to page 130 for our service of Kabbalat Shabbat, our service of welcoming the Sabbath. Lechu neranen ala Adonai, nariya letzor yishenu. Nekad mafanav betoda, bizmirot narialo. Come, let us sing joyously to Adonai. Raise a shout for our rock and deliverer. Let us come into God's presence with praise. Let us raise a shout for God in song. For Adonai is a great God, the great ruler of all divine beings.
Shiru Adonai. Kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai, shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash. Shiru Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash.
Page 134. Zamru Adonai Bechinor. Bechinor v'kol zimrod, v'chatzotzrot, v'kol shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai. Yiram hayam umla'o, tevel v'yoshveva. Neharot yim cha'u chaf, yachad harim yiranenu. Together, sing praise to Adonai with the lyre and melodious song, with trumpets and the blast of the horn. Raise a shout before Adonai the ruler. Let the sea and all within it thunder, the world and its inhabitants. Let the rivers clap their hands, the mountains sing joyously together at the presence of Adonai. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly and its peoples with equity. We turn now to page 142 as we welcome in the angels of Shabbat with the singing of Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn to page 144 as we prepare to transition into our Ma'ariv service with the Shema and its blessings with the words of the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Yalmad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayetechol beit Yisrael. Bagala bagala uvizman kari v'yimeru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach. Le'alam olam me'almaya yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha berichu, le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, Da'amiran be'alma ve'imeru, amen. Ya lai lai, ya lai lai lai, ya la lai 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 lai. Ya lai lai, ya lai lai lai, ya la lai ya lai lai lai. Ya la lai 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 lai, ya lai 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 ya. Ya lai 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 lai. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Barechu et Adonai Amevorach. Baruch Adonai Amevorach le'olam va'ed. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la.
Please be seated as we turn to page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ata, Amcha ata. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbenu, Uvkumenu na'asiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratcha, U'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Yihem chayenu, Be'orech yameinu, Uvahem nege yomam valayla, nege yomam valayla. Shabbat tasi, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha, b'veitecha, uvlechtecha, v'aderech, uv'shochbecha, uv'kumecha, u'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'isharecha. Nima'an tizkiru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'yot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet.
We continue responsively on page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Mi kamocha ba'edim Adonai. Mi kamocha neder b'kodesh. Mi kamocha ba'edim Adonai. Mi kamocha neder b'kodesh. Nora tekilot, osei felech. Nora tekilot, osei felech. Adonai imlo ve'olam va'ed. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. L'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Uvros aleinu sukat shlomecha, uvros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Page 162, we sing these words from Torah that remind us that as we keep Shabbat, it will keep us as well and renew our souls.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. איש ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת שבת וינפש שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל Oti leolam. Oti leolam. Oti leolam.
In a moment, we will rise for the tefillah on page 164, but I just want to point out one thing before we do, that during the Givurot, the second blessing of the tefillah, the liturgy has changed now that we have come to and passed Shmini Atzeret and Simchat Torah. We are now in winter liturgically, and as opposed to summer. The Talmud and Halakha doesn't account for spring and fall, but we are now in the winter period, the rainy season, as it were. And so we change the liturgy from asking for the dew to settle to asking for the rain to fall and the wind to blow. And as we all know, the rain has definitely been falling over the past month or so, but it's not rain here that we're praying for. It's rain in the land of Israel, so that the crops and the life in the land of Israel shall be abundant in this rainy season that begins with Shmini Atzeret. So as we enter into the tefillah on page 164, I invite you to please rise.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Adonai sifatai tita, ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Geulah livnei bneihem, Leman Shemo b'Yahava, Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai mechayei hakol, Atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach morid Hashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofeh chodim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gifurot, Umido melach, Melech memit u'mechaye u'matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol. At hakadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'kol yom yehalelu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Iyu leratzo imre fi vehegyo libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri Begoali Yehu Leratzo Imrefi Vegyon Ibi Lefanecha Adonai Tzuri Adonai Suri Begoali.
We've come again to Shabbat Bereshit, our Shabbos, where we begin reading the Torah with Parshat Bereshit, the word that comes to us to mean in the beginning. And as Fräulein Maria taught us, it's a very good place to start. In this Torah portion, we read a lot. There's a lot that goes on in these first few parshiyot, in addition to sort of the stories that we usually think of in these parshiyot, this one being creation, next week being Noah's Ark. But as we'll see this week and next, there's a lot in these parshiyot. After the creation of the world, we know the story that the serpent, the snake, however we want to translate that word, convinces Eve to eat from the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, of tree that her and Adam were forbidden from eating from. And after she eats it, and after she convinces Adam to eat the fruit, and they realize that they are naked and cover themselves up, God's presence enters into the garden, and they hide from God in their shame. And God calls out the first question that we hear in the Torah, Ayeka, where are you? Hold that in your mind for a moment, because we move on to the next generation in Bereshit of their children, Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel, who were out in the fields, one was a shepherd, one was growing crops, and they both offered their sacrifices to God. Abel, the shepherd, offered his choicest from his flocks, and Cain offered some of his grain. And God gladly accepted that which was given in pride, that which was good to be given. And Cain grew jealous and slew his brother. And we have two more questions that God asks. God says to Cain, Ei chevel achicha, Ei chevel achicha. Where is Chevel? Where is Abel, your brother? The famous line, am I my brother's keeper, is the answer, with the answer to that we all know being, yes, of course you are. To which God then says, Ma asita, what have you done? The blood of your brother calls to me from the land. Three questions that God asks. Where are you? Where is your brother? What have you done? Now, ostensibly, God knows the answer to all of these questions, but God forces the people to answer. The questions aren't so much a vehicle for God to gain the knowledge that God is seeking, but it's a vehicle for Adam and Chava, for Cain and Abel to answer. It's a vehicle for us to show where we are. Because God isn't just calling out to Adam and Eve, Ayeka. God isn't just calling out to Cain, where is your brother? What have you done? God in truth calls out to all of us, Ayeka, where are you? Where do you find yourself in this moment? We're asked this question coming straight out of the Yamim Noraim and Sukkot and Simchat Torah, these days where we examine who we are. And now God asks us the question, where are you? Who are you? And as we begin reading the Torah, we ask this question of ourselves, where are you? Who are you? How do you respond to the world? Are you going to be your brother's keeper, your sister's keeper? And what have you done? For good or not, what have you done? And what will you do to make this world a better place? Amen. We take a moment now as we pause in our service to think of those members of our community who are ill. Some are at home recovering, some are in the hospital, some have diseases and illnesses from which they may never recover. We think especially this week of Richard Zuspin, Lee Silverstein, Jill Vantine, Eleanor Goodman, Charles Goodman, Newly Makovich, Libby Routman, Laurel Phoenix, Marjorie Whitmore, and Jerry Phillips, Claire Levin, Paul Kershon, Reva Fisher, Chandler Jacobs, Aaron Withers, Brianna Jacobs, Leslie Knight, Bert Singerman, Stephen Schiff, Mateo Velasquez, Dr. David Mazel, Janelle Siegel, Rachel Davis, Max Jacobs, Charlie Kaplan, Kathy Waldner, Susan Abrams, Jerry Jacobs, Christopher Denton, Barney Greenberg, Jerry Gimple, Phyllis Lapin, and Marilyn Goldfarb. If you are thinking of someone who is in need of a prayer of healing this week, I invite you to share their name with the community as my eyes meet yours.
Bill's husband.
We take all of them into our hearts. We ask for God's healing blessings to be with them. We also think of all of those suffering from illness, from COVID, from other illnesses as well. We think of those victims of violence around the world. We also think of those who care for the sick each day. May they be blessed with strength and love and support. And may God send healing blessings to all the sick, all who are in need of healing of body, spirit, and soul. Baruch atah Adonai rofei cholim. Blessed are you, God, who heals the sick. Together we say, Amen.
Amen.
Page 371, we sing this blessing.
Yishebera avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen. Ishebera imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, a renewal of body, a renewal of spirit. And let us say, Amen.
This coming week, we will bid farewell to the month of Tishrei and welcome in the month of Cheshvan, which the Talmud refers to as Mar Cheshvan, the bitter month of Cheshvan, because unlike Tishrei that precedes it, that has a lot of holidays, Cheshvan has none. Rabbis today jokingly refer to it as Matok Heshvan, the sweet month of Heshvan, for the exact same reason. But we ask that as we enter into this month, that it truly is a month of Matok, a month of sweetness, that even without the holidays, Heshvan will provide us blessings, wholeness, and peace as we enter into it together as a community. We rise and turn to page 379 to bless the new month. Yehi ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu shetechadesh aleinu et hachodesh haba l'tova v'livracha v'titen lanu chayim arukim chayim shel shalom chayim shel parnasa chayim shetehevanu avat Torah v'yirat shamayim chayim sheyimalu mishalot libenu l'tova. Amen.
Amen.
Our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month bring us goodness and blessing. May we have long life, peace, prosperity, a life exalted by love of Torah and reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts are fulfilled for good. Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan yeh b'yom revi'i. The new month of Cheshvan begins on Wednesday. We remain standing as we turn to page 586 for Alin.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטש שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Yesh kochavim she'oram magia arza, rak ka'asher hem atzmam avdu ve'inam. There are stars up above, so far away, we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. At this sacred moment of our Shabbat evening worship, we think longingly and lovingly of those taken from us both recently and at this season in years past. We are in a period of Shiva, the first 7 days since their memorial service, Barbara Kirshner. And Jenna, we're so sorry for your loss, and we're here supporting you tonight. We're also in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days since their passing of Sharon Arnett, and we mark the yahrzeits, the anniversary of their passing on this Shabbat, of Lila Raskin Nadel, Judel Wolpe, Anna Rosenberg, Harlan Mandel, Sean Quinn Clements, Jean Leachin, Irving Kaiser, Ray Tenner, Roy Deichman. And the Jewish community also remembers Rabbi Regina Jonas, the first woman ordained as a rabbi by the German Jewish community, and who was deported to and murdered in Auschwitz on Shabbat Breshit. If you are remembering someone on this Shabbat, we invite you to share their name with all of us as my eyes meet yours. Zichronam livracha. May all of their memories always be a blessing as we take their memories into our hearts, united with the memories of the millions of our people who have no one to say Kaddish for them, the thousands and thousands who have died as a result of COVID-19. We link all of their memories to the Shmei Rabbah, the great, holy, and awesome name of God that we praise now with the words of the Mourner's Kaddish as we turn to page 598 and rise together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shmei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach chirutei v'amlich malchutei, B'chaye echon v'yom echon v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, B'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam l'omei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei dekudsha brichu. Lamim kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all the bereaved here and everywhere with the blessing of peace. Together we all say, Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen.
Our closing song can be found on page 625. Please join us in singing Adon Olam.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem kol Yitzini Ra Et Nasa B'chetz HaKol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yacharei Kiklot HaKol Leva'ado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'chetz HaKol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yacharei Kiklot HaKol Leva'ado Yimloch Nora Hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'chetz HaKol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yacharei Kiklot HaKol Leva'ado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh B'tifara Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh B'tifara Ve'hu echad v'yein sheni Le'am shilo le'achbira V'li reshid v'li takli V'lo ha'oz v'ha'am Yisra Ve'hu eli v'chai go'ali V'tzuchev li v'yetzara Ve'hu nisi u'manos li Menat kosi me'yom evka Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'chetz HaKol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yacharei Kiklot HaKol Leva'ado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'chetz HaKol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yacharei Kiklot HaKol Leva'ado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh B'tifara Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh B'tifara V'yado avkiruki v'yedishan v'yahira v'imruki v'yati Adonai li v'lo ira Adonu lam Hashem alak b'terem kol yitzini v'ali eitna saba chetzako asay malak shemoni kravi yachareki klodako leva'ado yimlok na rabba hu hayava hu ove hu yeh betifara Adonu lam Hashem alak b'terem kol yitzini v'ali eitna saba chetzako asay malak shemoni kravi yachareki klodako leva'ado yimlok na rabba hu hayava hu ove betifara vehu hayava hu ove betifara.
Please be seated. Shabbos, everyone.
Good job.
It's a pleasure being with all of you tonight as we celebrated this Shabbat of Breshit. Just a few brief announcements before Kiddush and Motzi. Tomorrow morning, we will continue celebrating Shabbat at 10:30 a.m. during our Shabbat morning worship service, where we will also celebrate Audrey Bronfman becoming a bat mitzvah, the newest adult member of the Jewish people. And we look forward to celebrating with Audrey and her family and our entire community tomorrow morning. Tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m., our Sisterhood and Men's Club joint event Grill and Chill will be out on the patio. We look forward to seeing many of you tomorrow evening for what should be a really fun night. Religious School meets this Sunday, and on Monday, Molly's Hebrew class meets at 10 a.m., and Sisterhood Book Club meets at 7:30. On Wednesday, we will continue studying here in the Social Hall Sanctuary, the book of Deuteronomy, and I invite you to join us as we continue studying Torah together. And then on Thursday, our knitting and crochet group will meet on Zoom at 1 p.m. Next Friday night, please join us for Kabbalat Shabbat, which our service will be led by Doug and Mary Frances Katz. And this week, we want to extend a special thank you to Bianca and Renata Levis for all of their help during religious school each and every week. We look forward to seeing all of you as we continue into this new year at all of our services, programs, and events. Please make sure to watch our website, Facebook, the newsletter, which came out today, as well as your weekly emails for all the information about everything coming up. We've got a lot of really great programming, some adult ed later in the month, as well as Social Action, CDT Cares Day in a couple weeks. So that's what's coming up here at CDT. And we're going to conclude our service now with Kiddush and Motzi. We turn to page 123 and we rise.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava u'vratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh b'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha b'yava u'vratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Chaim.
L'chaim.
We uncover the challah as we sing together.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
And we ask for God's blessing. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'et kol v'nei adam b'shalom. May God give strength to our people, and may God bless each one of us, all Israel and all creation with the blessing of peace. Together we all say,
Amen.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Good Shabbos.